6777666. You want a house? Link Claudia Davis, man. You want a piece of land? She are the real big woman. Miss Davis, she are the real big woman. Which she could have never go wrong with she. They can put horse and a van through she. They can put acre land and a Miss D are the real big woman. Which she could have never go wrong with she. They can put horse and a van through she. They can put acre land. She tell me pre smart, pre better. Get your own damn place so you prefer it. Baby wife of you sign up letter. NHD them a regent setter. Plus me don't get a youth of a member. My son just on table in December. And she do construction too. She will build a house for you and you get it well rendered. Baby, she are the real big woman. Which she could have never go wrong with she. You can put house and a van through she. You can put acre land and a Miss D are the real big woman. Which she could have never go wrong with she. You can put house and a van through she. You can put acre land. She now start it and left you there. Me I tell your brother, yes, she well prepared. And if you're meeting enough farmer bangarang, she give you liar, brother, pay your fear. She are the best RS agent. She help the need if you stop pay rent. They don't care bad mind them, just give me strength by steel and gravel and black and cement out. Now me house that I build up on the high, me I save some me money gone up in the sky from. Me be glad that me say me not lie bang. Have money and me pocket never giant. Me swear for me life, say me son him have to fly so. Hypocrite pagan while we die, and you can't stop Claudia Davis, don't try. Every day another house gone I. Miss Davis, she are the real big woman. Which she could have never go wrong with she. You can put house and a van through she. You can put acre land and a Miss D are the real big woman. Which she could have never go wrong with she. You can put house and a van through she. You can put acre land.
Good morning. Morning, everyone.
Morning, everybody.
Let's see who's on. My Serenity. I'm here. Good morning, ladies. Morning.
Morning. I see the board lighting up.
And I also see Lorna. Good morning. Lorna says, I'm first this morning.
Then she says, no, who beat her to it? My Serenity.
And Currency Walk.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I see Lorna. Oh, Lorna. That's Lorna. Hi, Dion. Morning, Dion. How you doing? I see Nakujam as well.
Yes.
All right. So everybody up bright and bold this morning.
Mm-hmm. Mommy, were you up bright and bold this morning?
Barely making it. Struggling. Going to my bed too late.
But I'm not sure what's keeping you up though. Is that Steven?
I guess it's a phone.
The phone?
I was watching SWAT yesterday. What about 3 episodes? Sleep through the last one.
Oh.
And I ended up watching SWAT. You know, SWAT have all these handsome guys in it.
Yes, it does. It does.
So I was watching that.
Let's see who else is here. Zoe says, good morning. I made it on time to hear my favorite interest song. Yes, Zoe, good morning. Joyce says as well. My Serenity. Tony, anything on the other channel still vested? Yes, the channel has actually been updated. Let me provide the link again. Let's see here. Mom, Nakujam says, Miss Claudia, you sound much better than the past couple of weeks. Mom,
now you coughing, Tony.
It's the AC.
AC?
Yeah.
For you. Kingston is pretty cool though.
Yeah, not here though. Not where I
Kingston is pretty cool.
and
All right,
normally
everybody, how was your week? Those of you who joined early, you know, you can ask your questions before everybody else comes on and crowds out your questions, and I don't get to answer them.
mm-hmm.
So now is the time to jump on and ask those questions. No questions so far. So Tony, how is your how you find doing your blog?
I don't know. It's just me sitting in front of the camera and talking. So for the most part, I'm used to doing that.
Okay, but you don't find that you have to dig deep too. Or maybe because you went through your what you're doing, what you're talking about now is what you have been through already, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm
kind
not
of
coming
like,
with new stuff as yet.
right, so kind of starting from how you started and coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I must admit, guys, that I have not yet listened to Tony's channel. Tony sent me the link. Um, Maybe because I kind of know. I've been there from the start, so I kind of know what's
I
happening.
can't say anything new as yet.
Yeah, those of you on here who wanted to be a part of the homestead group, Tony, you can also put that link in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
We updated the form so that you could give us your pledge. And I can tell you some pretty interesting properties have come up.
I know. When you start looking for something, it just starts to present itself.
Yeah. Also, Currency Walk asking me any update on the new homestead group. I'm forming so we're gonna work with Telegram for the chat, for our chat. So I started writing out the numbers so that I could add persons to the phone. So we're gonna have that Telegram. Telegram is where we're gonna meet. Those of you who have signed up, you don't have Telegram, download Telegram. Say hi to me, right?
And you're gonna do that today, Mom.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that today.
Oh, and Mom, just a reminder, we can't stay on late. There's no bonus time today. You have to meet the workman.
Oh yeah, I'm a workman that I have to meet between, I guess, 7:30 and 8. Well, I'll see when he calls. Usually these workmen say, oh yes, Miss D, I'm coming in 1 hour later.
Not this workman. You know he's on time. He's gonna be there sitting down waiting for you to come.
Yeah, he's usually on time. The mobile property for homestead, you mean the 4 million? How much was it, Tony?
Yeah, 4 million US for I think
4 million.
acres.
4 million US, how much acres?
800.
Well, what I know based on the pledge, you don't have 4 million US yet. It is the pledges that will tell us what we really should look at. So we have to narrow down the criteria. So when we form the group, we will get to that kind of deep dive.
Mm-hmm. The property that came up this week was interesting. It's just that the location.
Yeah.
But the view was nice.
I even saw one in St. Elizabeth. Somebody sent me one in St. Elizabeth. It had rivers on 3 sides.
Yeah, it was 13 acres. That one was nice.
Yeah. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? It was really good, but having river on 3 sides is good, but you can't be flatland. That's what reminded me that when that river come over, everything flooded. The land must have some hill to it. right? um, that's for sure. Because when the serious rain event comes, rivers should be flowing, still and flowing away from you, but on three sides, might have a little challenge. But it looks beautiful. All the water blue. I've never seen river with blue water, but it's a good. It's really and it's a good price too. It's a price that we could afford
Yeah.
based on the pledges from our homestead group. Um, but the
It was just the location.
the location, right, is in where St. Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. But I did like that it was close enough to like Appleton
Yeah,
Estate.
like that. And we have sold properties around that area before, so we kind of know the area. This is when you turn, go Tombstone, go up to Magati, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, I didn't want to be so inland.
Well, not if a majority of the homestead is from overseas persons.
Well, but that's
Exactly.
not the reason for the homestead. This is why we have to meet, guys, because we have to know what is the main focus. Is the main focus river? Is it main road? Is it what's the main focus? For Ecosted, the main focus was sea view. I think I'm hearing that for this one, the main focus is river, but most of the rivers are inland. So that's why we have to meet and narrow down the criteria, because the truth is, if we don't know what we're looking for, we will not find it.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we find it, because we don't know what we're looking for, we don't know that we have found it. Right, Tony?
Yep.
The criteria has to be there. Just like looking for a husband, you don't know what you're looking for. And when the man stand up in front of me, you will never see him. I would never see him because I have not set out the criteria of what I am looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, any questions? One ham. Good morning, ladies. Do people still sell land by square? Like in the days of my grandma? How often do you come by that?
What's
Never.
a square?
What's a square? I don't know. Let me Google it. We sell land by square footage now or square meter, right? So I'm not sure how much. How much is a square? Let me see. No, I don't know. But not even Google know that one. You have to ask somebody in the streets.
Well, oh,
No, not.
no. My thing says that in Jamaica, land is often measured in square feet.
Yeah.
Prices range from as low as 1,500 Jamaican per square feet in rural areas to over $10,000 per square feet in desirable urban and coastal areas.
We have to ask an old timer. The conversion. What do they consider a square? I don't know. Too early now for me to call anybody. But
Well,
and the
we really
surveyors would know too, because they would
old
have followed that history.
awake at this time.
What's that?
Older folks would be awake.
Oh yeah. I
They're
don't
not
know.
sleeping, so
The young people that must sleep now.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
Daylight.
why not? We don't sell by the square. We sell by square feet or square meter now. Or acreage. 1 acre, 2 acre. Like the one in Montego Bay, how many acres, Tony? 600?
I think it was 800.
800 acres.
819 acres.
That's like a whole town.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine you could build a whole city on it.
Mm-hmm. With that kind of acreage, though, you have to do some serious planning.
Mm-hmm.
kind of have the land so.
No.
You have to create.
And you need is at least a 20-year plan. Because you're gonna do it in stages.
Mm-hmm.
I think Richmond is in 10 years now and they still haven't finished.
Yeah,
So
I think
just
it's
imagine.
800 acres.
I don't know.
Oh.
But just imagine. What's the other question?
Serenity wants to know, have you done Airbnb and do you have any recommendations?
We did Airbnb when it just come out. That was eons ago. And then we switched our model. Um, we still have an account on Airbnb, right, Tony? But it's dormant.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But we haven't done any recently. So we went in when it was, that's what we like to do. You know, we like to go in when the market is not
New.
too flooded. New. Like how we're going into Portland now, it's not too flooded, right? Um, and then when everybody running, and they would pivot because we would have already been ahead of the game. But Tony can tell you, Tony was the one who was really active. I only got involved when something was there that probably couldn't handle. But Tony can tell her your experience with Airbnb. Airbnb has gotten more sophisticated as well, you know, in terms of ratings and the users have gotten more. What's the word I'm looking for? The users who initially came on Airbnb, I think, were genuine users who needed a space to rent and so on. But they've gotten so creative now. I've heard some really crazy stories. Like I read one the other day where they rented a person's house, did some data mining or something in there, run up a huge bill, electricity bill, because they brought in all these supercomputers and all of this, and left the place. I just read another one where the owner rented this place. They had a huge party. Mashard man place. Not even so they had a huge party. They took away his clothes. He could see them on the camera just walking out with his clothes. You know what I mean?
But why does he have clothes in an Airbnb?
That's what I'm wondering. He was pretty. I don't know why he did that. You know, but he lives there currently. Just one of the things too. The Airbnb space when you decide. I personally think when you decide to give up the space to a Airbnb, you are to exit the space. Cannot be a space that you live in, guys. You can't say, all right, Airbnb for this month, then me come in next month, and then Airbnb the fun come in. Yeah, you could probably do it if you're a suitcase traveler. You know, you acting like an Airbnb yourself. You know, Tony. So you book it for 1 week, and then other people may book it. So you are transient as well. You don't have your grandmother picture hang up on you, all these personal effects all around the place. No, you have to sterilize it, right? So if you're gonna be using it, you have to use it like a guest as well. Bring your suitcase, unpack, roll out. You don't even unpack. So with those kind of things, you don't unpack. It's treated like a hotel. But if you're going to, no, you have to give up the space, right? That's one of the things that I know. And you have to have the cleaner in place. So the cleaner has to be in place. The host has to be in place. So whether that host is you, so for us when we did it, Tony was a host. Sometimes I acted if she wasn't around to meet the guests, tell them the ropes of the property, just have a face-to-face, eye-to-eye contact, right? Because a lot of times you only meet them on the text message. You haven't met them. I don't personally, I don't like self-check-in. I see a lot of Airbnb, they do that, self-check-in, keep pad entry and them talking to the guests through the camera. No, I prefer to meet a guest, talk to them a little, welcome them to Jamaica and to the property, cut to joke, and so on. You know, to even if it's a house like a 3 or 4 bedroom, give them a walkthrough, show them where the heater switch is, where that is, the emergency numbers, and the refreshments that you may have left for them in the refrigerator, and so on. And makes just a more personable experience. That's just me. I'm a hands-on person. So when we did Airbnb, that's how we did it, right? Um, Tony, jump in. Don't allow me to talk about.
Personally, I don't enjoy Airbnb, whether as a guest or a host. So while I we did do Airbnb early, um, yes, it was nice to get bookings and stuff because we're in there early, so there was a lot of competition in the market.
Mhm.
Now it's completely different. Basically, now you're giving yourself a second job with
Mhm.
Airbnb. Even if you're going to have a host and a clean and everything else, you have to put a lot of work into marketing your property, especially if you're in one of those cookie cutter gated communities where all of them look exactly the same. There's a steep competition. So now with Airbnb, you have to be unique, bigger, and better in terms of what you're offering. And still, there is that price competition you're dealing with.
Yeah, because some people have swimming pool,
Yeah.
God's course, you name it, them have it, and they're
Mm,
offering it. You can't compete. They're offering it at the same price that you have yours at, right? So now it is very steep.
mm. So, I mean, if you have mortgage to pay and those things, just know it's a second job you're giving yourself with that Airbnb to pay those mortgages. What I will say though is that if you do decide to offer Airbnb, offer gold standard quality stuff, right? That way you can get repeat guests because it's really the repeat guests
Yeah.
that really
Character.
propels your and keep your Airbnb business going, right?
Mhm.
Because those 5-star reviews on Airbnb's platform, it helps the guests to make a decision. So you want to make sure the experience that they have with you is gold standard. Um, Cleaning, you have to stay on top of the cleaning. That's the biggest thing an Airbnb guest will complain about.
Yeah.
And access to AC, especially in conditions like Jamaica where it gets pretty warm in the summer, which is when they're usually here, right? So you have to learn how to control that AC bill with all the technology that's available, and you have to keep that place spotless for every guest,
Every guest, literally.
every guest.
Because some guests will come. I remember once we had a set of smokers. Man, oh man. Tony, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Drama on Elm Street. We had to take down everything, literally. Curtains, cushions, rugs, you name it. Everything had to be taken out and
And
washed, and we had to clean on the walls and the floors, the cabinets, you name it.
everything had to be wiped off because the smell was just there.
Yeah. And they were smoking the Jamaican high grade, not
Hmm.
regular cigarette, high grade. So that was something else. And of course, you have to be knowledgeable of your area. Guests will ask for things. So where can I find this? How can I get to that place? How can I, you know, be knowledgeable? There are some Airbnb WhatsApp groups now. I would suggest you also join one in your area, or not even your area, but join one so that you're in the know and you can learn from other persons as well.
Hmm.
Um,
Another thing too, if you're not going to be a host that's very accessible, you need to leave lots of information in the house that tells the guests what to do.
yeah,
Good thing to do would be put it inside of like a picture frame on the wall. On the if there's things they need to know about the kitchen, have it on a plaque in the kitchen, in the bathroom, make it be one of the pictures there that gives them instructions on what to do. And have like a guidebook that they like a photo album guidebook in the living room that they can flip through to find things in the area to do, contact information, etc.
hmm taxi pickup. Just things that just think about you when you're living, how you live, and what it is that they would need.
Mm-hmm.
You might get some, so like we got unique guest requests as well. Like we had a couple out, was it Australia, Tony, that
Mm-hmm.
wanted to go to Bob Marley down in Trenchtown. So we had to arrange that. Tony went with them. How was it, Tony?
It was pretty good.
Right. So as a host, you get to experience some things with the guests as well if you really immerse yourself in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But I think the whole Airbnb has taken on a more commercial thing. What it is commercial? Um, Hosts seem to think that they can be hands off, right? But you really need to talk to your guests. My thing was the constant pinging of my phone at all hours. Persons are all over the world internationally,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt the need to be constantly answering. You know, so you
But the
can't
thing
take one
was,
on and say you don't answer, right?
we had three three units that we were renting. So that's why the heavy traffic and the pinging and stuff was happening to us. It wasn't just like one. There
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So we had that. With these new prices now, you're buying new properties and doing Airbnb. You really need to look at that. If you can have multiple units, that's better than a one house that, I don't know if you can really be profitable to that extent with that one house on Airbnb. You need to have more than one unit, whether they be houses, single units, or whatever you're offering. You can also, if you don't got numbers, you got uniqueness and you charge a higher price.
Yeah.
So let us say, same river we're talking about. Your property has a river, you have some tree houses, you have some all kind of things. You can charge a higher price. So even though it's one property, because of the uniqueness of it, you will get a different clientele, who will pay the price for the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So um, if you're going to be in the cookie cutter space where you're just offering bedroom and bathroom and space for them to stay, that's very competitive right now. I mean, I've seen prices as low as 50 US a day, right? So are you competing in that space? If you're competing in that space, you need a whole heap of units, as Tony would say, to be profitable.
Mm-hmm.
If you're competing, if you now don't want to compete in that space, go unique, which is probably where I would go now. I wouldn't go back into the
Yeah, I think the Jamaican market is now at the point where you need to be unique.
yeah, yeah.
We
Because
flooded the
it's
cookie
full up
cutter
now.
market.
Yeah, the cookie cutter space full up. So go unique. So if you're thinking about that, go unique. So our river idea would be perfect for that. So you could also have living and you could also have guest experience on a property with a river.
Mhm. Farah says good morning, and Observer says I think a square is 1/10 of an acre.
Oh, hi Farah, good morning. So a square is 1/10 of an acre, and an acre is 44,350. Is it? How much is an acre of land in square feet?
Let me
Most
check.
persons here would have probably know square feet. Acre to square feet, 43,560.
Mm-hmm.
43,560. So therefore, that's a 10%. So that would be 4,356, which is like what they're offering now in those gated communities where they're offering you 4,000 square feet or 4,005 or 5,000. Right, got you. My Serenity says sounds like you prefer long-term tenants. Tony does actually. It's less fast moving. It's slow moving. Um, if you don't like talking to people a whole heap, go with the long term. If you don't like repairing stuff, cleaning house, talking to God, not help, or getting your blood pressure raised up because now you see, when you're with a long-term tenant and the fan break, or the AC knockout, or the stove not working, you can play with a week or two. Right, Tony?
Yeah.
You can play with that. But when you have a short-term guest who come in for 3 days and your AC knockout, you better have a backup plan.
I have to fix immediately.
You have better have a backup plan. You need backup crew.
You have to fix that immediately.
Or you need other units that they can move them to. Because we found that we've had to move guests to other units because something happened in another unit, we move them. So literally, in that kind of space, you really need to, what's the word I'm looking for? Never sharp, put it that way. You can't be dull. If you want to be dull, go with long term.
I know, that's how you give yourself another work.
Yeah, give yourself a work. And it has to be worth it, right? So if you're gonna charge some cheap price and at the end of it you only make 100 US, you're gonna keep second guess yourself.
My biggest thing is that you get to choose your long-term tenants. With short-term Airbnb, your tenants choose you. And sometimes it's just not a good fit. The host and the guest is just not a good fit.
Yeah, not a good fit. Somebody pinging me. Yeah, it's just not a good fit. As Tony says. Long term, you can scope out the tenant, you can reject them, all of that. Short term, they're choosing you, they're looking at a whole heap and saying, yes, I want this one. And then sometimes I'm jump on, you're so glad to get the booking, you take them without due diligence.
But you can't do much due diligence either. I mean, it's not like long-term tenant. With long-term tenants, you can get work information, bank information, I mean, referrals, pay slips. I mean, speak to their supervisor at work. You're not getting any of that with short-term.
And then they can go to Airbnb and complain.
Yeah.
And take back their money. So you just have to decide which side of the market you want to be on. Right? You can be in the regular cookie cutter ones or you can be in unique. And unique and cookie cutter is two different type of people.
Yeah.
Two different type. Right? So figure out you yourself as a host. You have to figure out, remember the buck stops with you. So you should have also certain things in place like your insurance, all of that. Make sure it's in place. Because one incident will wipe you out.
Right. And you have to have procedures too on safety.
All right. So Tony did drop in the chat earlier the homestead.
Oh, I didn't. Let me do it.
Didn't? Oh. And what did you drop? What was your blog?
Yeah.
Morning Dancehall Entertainment. Morning. Morning, Cheryl. See you. I see Monica as well. Good morning. I see Fire Youth. Fire Youth is new.
Yeah, that one looks new.
Morning, Fire Youth. Thank you for joining us at 6:30 on a Sunday morning, no doubt. And Jane is saying good morning. Hi, Jane. Happy Sunday, everyone. All right, this is where you get to ask the questions. So we're talking about Airbnb earlier. Anybody doing Airbnb, you can drop your comments in the chat as well. What you like, what you don't like.
What you feel is improvement.
What is the upside? What is the downside? If you're an on-site host or an overseas host, what is it? What I do know is that the tourism market is strong. So tourism on a whole is a industry that you can get into because the tourism product is strong, but it's also fickle, as we found out in COVID, right? So persons who are heavily into tourism, when COVID happened, if they didn't have any buffers and so on, they couldn't survive. But the tourism market is very strong. So it's a food market, food industry, agriculture industry, strong. People must eat food. And kind of like food and tourism kind of go together. Because you need food to feed people, right? So if you want a good fusion to be food, tourism. So like the homestead idea is a very good one. We're talking about agriculture, planting crops and so on, right? And you're talking about accommodation. So you're talking about accommodation as well. The whole tourism. If you have a big farm, of course you can have people coming to look. Or you grow the tomato, or you grow the cucumber. And people just love that, right?
Right.
And also if you have a river, people love that. And just want to come and put them foot in the water. So you have a
Mom
good fusion.
planted some cucumbers this week.
Who?
Me.
Yeah, try the cucumber. Try tomato. Tomato $1,000 now. 1,000 Jamaican
Yeah,
dollars.
I'm gonna try.
I think somebody sent me a price. Did they send me cucumber too? And drop something in one of these chats, showing
I know
us how.
yeah, tomato $1,000 because I was in the supermarket the other day. Realized I couldn't afford it.
What?
The
Couldn't
cucumber.
afford
So
the cucumber?
yeah, so I went with carrot and lettuce and cucumber instead.
Oh, you couldn't afford tomato.
Tomato, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The prices have gone up. I don't know why. I just sent it to you, Tony. You can probably share it with the group.
Yeah, but if prices would go up,
Tomato is so seasonal.
those things
Huh?
are gonna be blown away, man.
If I'm doing tomato, I would make sure my tomato come in when nobody else have tomato. Me alone.
How are you going to do that? I guess that's the person that's selling it for $1,000 now, because they're the only ones with tomato.
It looks up. It certainly looks that way. It looks that way. All right, so Tony, I just sent you the article for today as well. So the tomato, this particular one I'm looking at, look like that's what we call a salad, a dinner table. So the price is 1,100 per pound. So it's 2,268 per kilo. Divide it in two. I know it's 2.2 pounds make a kilo. So that's what I do. I just half it in my brain. So 1,100 we're paying now for pound per pound of tomato. But then it's something that you don't have to really eat, guys.
What about the electricity bill, Mom? You can ignore that one.
I remember to print the electricity bills. No, I told Tony when I see her, I said, make sure you print the bills. I need to go through all of those bills and see what have we personally been affected by. I heard persons saying their bills have been high and all of that.
Man, all our bills are high. The only bills that are the same are the ones where we weren't there.
Oh.
Yeah, so like during the hurricane period here, that bill is pretty much the same it would have been if I was there. But the others are high. Some of them I think are like 10 grand more.
What? I need to check if it is a usage or if it is JPS added something.
JPS adding something. The fuel rate was like 24.18, I think. And now the fuel rate is like 35.16, something like that. So it's higher.
A larger complaint. Larger complaint. course. So the $35 fuel went on all the bills?
Yes, it did.
It did.
It,
Oh, but
yeah,
some places we didn't feel it because we weren't there.
yeah,
Well, nobody was using the electricity.
right. So like
Right.
here and Camelot, the bill pretty much the same as would have paid it every month. But if we were there, they would have spiked high.
Ah, heaven help us. Yet the government of Jamaica is saying that they gave a concession on the fuel. So they don't understand how JPS add this fuel to the bills. And then I read another report saying, oh, JPS said them can retroactively whatever. Of course you can. That is rubbish. If it is that you added $35 to the bill and it was 24, all you have to do is now remove the 35, put 24, and redo all the bills for August. Is it what not simple mathematics that? If I had sent out that invoice and it was incorrect, all I would have done is call back the bill, retrace my steps, put the right rate, and send out back the bill. So what are they talking about? You can't retroactive that. Oh, you are here saying that? Oh, we can't retroactively tell JPS what to do, no? And then I said, oh, we didn't know that these bills are going to be higher. We only heard about it when persons were complaining. I thought you were supposed to be the regulator.
But I don't get it. Everybody in work in OUR don't get a JPS bill.
I'm wondering the same thing. I'm living in the love light. Oh, God. I guess their salaries are so high, it don't phase them, right?
It don't phase them.
What are some of the things, too, even with your Airbnb? Your billing can be very unpredictable when it comes to JPS.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things, though, investing in solar energy may be better for those running on Airbnb. Or JPS has prepaid electricity. If you can remove the electricity portion from your Airbnb and let the guests top up. So you may say to them, you start out with $2,000 electricity, but if you go over that, you will need to top up. Here is how you top up. Let them top up. Because that bill alone can run you into bankruptcy, the JPS. As we're seeing. Right, Tony?
Yeah.
There goes your profit. Oops. Gone.
I know. Like I'm looking at one of the JPS bills that's over $10,000 more this month, and I'm like, what if I was just a regular person on a monthly salary? Like, where would I find this extra $10,000 from?
Yeah, one less Burger King, I guess.
$10,000 is one less Burger King.
For real. Five of you in the Burger King. One less outing. But they're crazy. Why JPS did that? And with no warning, it just dropped on the bill. It's not even as like they must say for the month, they must say, guys, this the fuel is gonna go up. If they were saying that, then the government of Jamaica would have realized that what they're talking about. But I gave them a concession on this fuel that they asked for.
JPS are trickster because we got emails all through the hurricane, after the hurricane period, saying that we were affected by the hurricane, so your bill is going to be estimated. Now I'm thinking if they're going to estimate my bill, it's going to probably just be tallying up my last 3 bids and averaging it out or something like that. And my usage is pretty consistent, right? So I'm expecting the same $34,000 bill. When it comes to 46,000, I'm like, but wait, this is an average?
Yeah. No. But I don't think they needed to average. All they needed to do was read the meter. Because if who had light have a meter, it would have reflected on the meter. If you never have light, then your meter would only reflect up to the period when you had electricity. So all they had to do was read the meter normal. You don't need to estimate anybody. Why you estimate it? And everybody have a meter. It just doesn't make sense.
In such a way where even when the lines drop down, the meter was still reading. I don't know.
That must be the case. The meter still reading even though no power is going to the building. I don't think they needed to have estimated any bills. That's rubbish. If the people don't have any electricity, then the meter would not be reading anything, guys. So that you should only bill what the meter read. And if them forever don't have any electricity, all know there should be a zero reading. So what JPS did with estimating bills is utter nonsense. Because everybody who they're billing have a meter, don't it? We all have meters. So I don't understand why JPS got into this thing about what you estimating, guys? Come on. And you said everybody have smart meter. So you should only be reading what was consumed. There's no electricity, no consumption, zero bill. That's a standard. You're getting on this nonsense and I get me upset about estimated bill. Rubbish.
Yeah. So Sharika says, good morning, ladies. Morning,
Sharika.
And Farah says, you've touched on all the pros and cons. Cookie cutter needs an edge to compete. And then as Tony said, multiple properties is a plus. Repeat guess. That's true, Farah. Fire Youth says, I've always watched your videos. I was getting a 2-bedroom for 7 million. What's the expected rental for a 2-bedroom in the Kitson Town area?
Kitson Town, 2-bedroom.
That's above me.
Oh yeah, maybe 50? What do you think, Tony? 50, 60, 70?
For Kitson Town, maybe down where I am, you could get the 70.
Oh, but up in Kitson Town?
Yeah.
50?
Or even less. Just depends on where.
Depends on where. On the main? Depends on where.
Remember, the house is only for 7 million.
Huh?
The house itself is only for 7 million.
Yeah, so you're in the cheap area. A 2-bedroom. 7 million? Where you find that? You're lucky, man.
It's a town, and I'm telling you.
He is very fortunate. We're selling Palmetto Pines land for 6.5 and 7.5. Cheapest.
You know, I heard something interesting. I was on a taxi. So from Spanish Town in the square to where I am, a taxi man charged $200, right?
That's where you're at Palmetto Pines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But from Spanish Town to Kitson Town square is also $200. Right? So the taxi men were complaining that the fare route is unfair to them. Right? So a lot of them don't go up there. Right? Because it doesn't economically make sense to be driving that long distance for the same price.
Right.
But when I really think about it, I don't think you could really charge any more money based on the economy to go up there.
What?
Based on the economy and the persons who live up Kitson Town area who would really need the road taxi service, I don't think you can really charge any more money to go up there.
They can't. Government should put a bus up there on the route.
Yeah.
Government should put a bus on the route. To get the people out there. Or give what you need is economies of scale. So you need something like a coaster bus that can move more people. So they would have economies of scale, right? As opposed to just a car that's only taking 4 each time. So they wouldn't have the economies of scale. The distance, the time to come back and load again and all of that is going to get them out.
Right, which is why there is a SpongeBob bus that runs the route. And I think that's why he's doing pretty well. I've taken him a few times.
And it goes all the way to Kitson Town.
All the way.
So Tony, I need to put a SpongeBob bus on the route too.
I can't manage that.
I'm going to run down the driver.
I can't speak taximan language, so then they would catch up every day.
No, you're going to learn the language, right? When you're in a new market or in a new area, you have to learn the language.
Right,
so you have to learn taximan language.
I don't know if I want that level of stress in my old age.
All right, you have another question.
Denise says, for someone that lives overseas but was born in Jamaica, what is the first step I should take towards buying a house in Jamaica? Not sure what topic you are on. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, that's okay. You can ask any question. Money, finance, and real estate. So repeat, Tony. She was born overseas.
No, born in Jamaica, live overseas, needs the first step to buy property in Jamaica.
And are you buying cash? If you're buying cash, you just get your tax registration number and you proceed. Look for your property, buy cash. If you're buying with a loan, then you would get pre-approved by a loan officer. Tony can drop the loan officer in the chat. You get pre-approved by a loan officer. They're going to ask you for your job letter, payslip, credit report, tax return from overseas. They will assess it and see how much loan Jamaica can lend you, Jamaica Bank can lend you. And you also still need to get the tax registration number. So anybody at all buying property, so everybody in Jamaica who is a Jamaican and who pay taxes will have their tax registration number. But persons buying from overseas, you will also need a tax registration number. Now that's easy to get. You can walk into any, not any. You can walk. Can you go into any tax office and get it? I think so. No. In Kingston, it's Constant Spring and downtown. In other parishes, I think yes, you can walk in there and with your passport or your driver's license, fill out the form and get it. If you're overseas, that's another ball game. You have the link, Tony. If you're overseas, you can put the link in the chat. So you go on the tax portal, what's it called? Tax admin Jamaica.
Jamaica tax.
Jamaica tax. Always mixing it up.
Yeah, jamaicatax.gov.jm.
Mm-hmm. And you can try and do it from there, but it's easier to just walk into the tax office and get it.
All right. Duncan says, greetings, teacher D and assistant. Morning, Duncan.
Morning.
And Farah said, new JPS would try to bill everyone for the hurricane repairs.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing because they never had to send out no estimated bill. None. That's exactly what they're doing. That is so wrong, guys. So wrong. No such thing as an estimated bill is necessary. Just go read the meter.
Sharika,
read the meter.
The bills are up. We are being charged for the repairs and overtime work for the employees.
Same way.
As if all the time.
I can imagine it is a cost, but it's a cost of doing business, really. I mean,
how often we have hurricane, Mom? How often we have hurricane?
Exactly.
Them not should have a relief fund to do all those repairs.
Hurricane insurance onto that. Them not have that.
Yeah, that probably don't pay out yet though.
Yeah, but them should have insurance. That's like if you're removed and blow off. You'd have your insurance, so you could have claim the insurance. If you never have insurance, you go in your profits in your bank account. Mm-hmm. But they're a monopoly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're spinning the Jamaican government. But I love how Minister Vaz take them on, man. Yes, Minister Vaz, don't let up, man. Minister Vaz is like a matlock in them skin.
I know he's for the people.
Yeah, man, keep at it. Well, I guess him have JPS bill and pay too, you know. And I always say that you can't fight for yourself. You can't fight for other people. True. So he must have some big JPS bill of face too, you know. I said, no.
I'm fully part AC every day. So.
But I like how Minister Vaz is under them skin, man. We couldn't get a better minister in that portfolio right now. Man, come out swinging, man. You have to let down something. You have to take that down. Take it down. Yes, Minister Vaz, do not let up. All estimated bills must be rolled back. Any estimated bill must be rolled back. They need to go read the meter. Read the meter. And that's the service charge you can't charge. Well, you can't charge the service charge because you're still connected to the grid, but certainly read the meter, man.
Yeah, but I'm not even sure what JP's service charge is because I didn't look at that closely.
Yeah, we probably low, so you don't pay attention, but water commission. Not
know
just that is very ridiculous. That as for them, I'm surprised them never talk about estimated bill too.
Actually, our water bills came back pretty low.
Pretty low.
Hurricane period, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we never have no water, so. Cheryl says, my son who is of Jamaican parents want to buy a house in Jamaica. Can he buy a house? Yeah. All he would need is a TRN number.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the beauty about Jamaica, you know. We can afford it, we can sell it to you.
Yeah. So you can't afford it, you have a problem. But apart from that, you have your money, buy what you want, buy the real estate. And I tell you know, guys. So yesterday, my daughter and I would drop Rosanda at their extra class, Zanda's area. Hi, Sharika. Sharika is their teacher. Doing a good job with both of them, right? And we went to the plaza, so we were kind of hanging in Mothers. It's not a Mothers? Or a TST? TST. Went to TST. You know, get a chance to observe the people and so on. I also observed the plaza was empty with some empty shops and so on. But there's KFC, Burger King, Mothers, all doing well, lines long and everything. They went over to the ATM and we had a really good talk. We're chatting with the gentleman that's there. Why did I start telling this story, Tony? Talking about land? What we talking about?
Yeah, land. That you can't buy anything in Jamaica.
You can't buy anything in Jamaica. And we're talking to this gentleman, and you know, we talk about land ownership, but everybody I meet in this country can tell me about them family land. I don't think there's anybody in Jamaica who don't have somebody in them family, them as close as them father and them mother and them grandmother and them grandfather that don't have land in this country. You know, someone's kind of telling me about the land and want to buy more land. I say, you have land already? He say, yes. And I was telling him, you need to improve on that before you go do something else. Right? It comes back to the point of investing in real estate. The first investment that you make is really the property that you live. That's your very first investment in real estate. You know, and you look at that and you maximize it. If there's nothing to maximize, then you look somewhere else. So let us say it's an apartment you're in. They can't really do no addition or something. But let us say you have a house, you have buildable space. Before you look out to go buy another piece of land, how about building up that space and getting the income from that first, and then you go to another property? You have family land, but the problem with Jamaicans is they don't cooperate. So you have this family land looking at, but you can't extract nothing because the minute somebody said to you, I could do something, want to take the whole of the land. Want to come from, want to take the whole of the land, and me do this and I me do that. Not realizing that everybody can be so much wealthier.
Not only that, in the paperwork, but it's not sorted, man.
Huh? Paperwork what?
The paperwork and is not sorted out. It's usually the third generation trying to make a move.
Yes.
Because grandma bought the land, then daddy never get his name on the title when grandma passed. So you as a child now have to be doing all sorts of gymnastics to sort it out.
Mm-hmm. So that happens. So yes, anybody can buy land. No. See, all them land they want to talk about say, Oh, a bushland and a this and a that. I'm here to tell you guys. Anyhow, them find oil in Jamaican waters. Make sure you already own your land. The world and his wife will be coming here.
I
Make
know.
sure you already own your property in Jamaica, or there will be no space for you because you cannot afford it. When the demand, you saw COVID dropped demand in here and the prices went like this. Properties we were selling for 250,000 US is now 450,000 US in the space of 2 years. You understand? Make sure you have a liquor square. If you see now, a liquor palmetto pines. Because if them ever find that oil in the shores of Jamaica, you see how tourism boom up and stand up, we're gonna be overrun with people just a come for look and a come for invest. So them say, you Tony,
Yeah.
got more piece of the action.
No, we're looking at those 800 acres and 600 acres that are been selling. Some big corporations will come in and just buy them up.
Yeah, yeah. So guys, getting out together. As families come together, we don't have to be blood to come together. We can be just know each other acquaintances like what we did with EcoStead.
Can be
Right?
just minded.
Like-minded, going in the same direction. Get your acts together. Don't let it be said, oh, what in the years so them look a fine oil, you know. Part of it is faith. Just about anything that you do. It's faith. When you step through the door, jump in my car to drive out, faith that I'm gonna be good and I'm gonna come back home. It's really just faith. Right? Jamaica is a stalwart in the Caribbean. We're the gem of the Caribbean. No two ways about it. Call any country in the Caribbean, hands down. We beat them in everything where you can think of. The British thought so, which is why they gave us so many things, right? Schools, hospitals, electricity, all of those things, water systems, all of those things. They built a good infrastructure and left it here for us, right? So Jamaica is a little mini gem. We have, I told them my nose feel like it going around. We have things in the Caribbean that the other Caribbean countries don't have. Like we have a children's hospital dedicated to just children. We have a mental hospital dedicated to just mental health, right? We have a maritime school. We have all these things at our disposal. So imagine if we find oil. If we ever go find out the oil, boy, I'm gonna tell you, on one side I'm praying them don't find it. But on the other hand, I'm praying that them find it. Because my nose says Anna's even good. Right? I'll be gone.
We're gonna be like a little Dubai right there in the Caribbean.
Yeah, yes. Like a Dubai. So all on the overseas, getting yourself a little piece, a land in a Jamaica. Because when the things switch, and Jamaica is already known throughout the world. There are some countries when you call them name, you wonder, what them people are there on the map, man? What them people are there? But when you say Jamaica, the whole world knows us. The entire world knows us. So just imagine now, if them so find oil, rather know 2,000 plane a land of Jamaica daily, man. So get our acts together. Homestead people too, come, put in the pledges. I see somebody asked earlier how many persons we need. We don't know how many persons we need yet. Just depends on how big the dream is. Tony have our eye upon a $4 million property, US. No doubt. But the sky is the limit.
Yeah, that's like aiming for the sky. I mean, that property.
The sky is no limit.
Yeah.
The sky is no limit to your imagination. The creator give you all of that. Just think about the man who invented Disney. See it in them dream first, in their mind, right? Then start working. Then you start working. So,
Who else? Jovan says, how are people earning minimum wage surviving? I can only imagine the financial gymnastics they're enduring now. More than financial gymnastics.
people who earn minimum wage don't live alone still. They live in groups.
No,
They live
they tend to not only have one job, they have a little side hustle, somebody there or something there that's bringing in a little extra money.
Yeah, and they have people overseas too.
Mm-hmm.
So them join the Western Union line. That's another thing that's big for us, which is remittances. So we do have 2 million Jamaicans overseas supporting 3 million of us here. Here, that's just true. Which is why it is simpler to live here. That's why JPS can go on so because they don't know so the people in my foreign are send the money. Huh.
He's in the here to like I was at Palmetto Pine and Aki came in. So
Oh,
they were like picking Aki just to carry home, you know?
yeah,
So,
Aki's there. What? So you
so
have Aki no Tony.
yeah, so you can't really it's not that hard to find food. Especially if you don't live in the city. Like if I was in Kingston, it would have been a little harder, but out here I constantly get free food.
Yeah, you get free food anywhere in the country. Imagine where we eco state, Lord. Aki, like I said, my little mango tree. I like a mango tree in a pot. Beer blossoming. Tony, Rachel, it's the mom said, here. I said, Rachel, my mango tree bearing here. Mom, that's only blossoms.
Well, we learn the language.
Yeah, so funny. But yeah, the you live in Jamaica, you're not short of food, really. And the thing is, if you're gonna go through a famine, you want to be in Jamaica. So many trees. So we would eat all the trees first, right? And then we would get to work now and plant short crops like the tomatoes, the cucumbers, and so on. And within 3 months, we don't have food. Really. So you can't starve. And we always have sunshine, we have land, we have rain, we have all of that. The land on Palmetto Pines is pretty fertile.
I want to
Also,
watch cucumbers and see how they're coming up.
where are you planting them?
Right by the mango tree.
Under the mango tree?
Yeah.
Did you sow a real bed or you just sprinkle out the seeds?
No, I saw a real bed.
Oh, you sow a real bed away, I say. So you just sow some tomato.
Why do you keep asking about tomato?
What's the price of tomato?
It's funny, like I don't even think it's tomato season now, but like early up in the summer, Ross was eating a tomato from him lunch and him throw it out because he never wanted it. He said it never looked right. And it grew into a tree right by the water tank. You get about 8 or 9 tomatoes off it.
Oh, what I say?
Died.
Get some tomato kind of expensive now still, but if you get some plummy, you can actually just cut the plummy now face down with the seeds.
Just throw out the tomato because he said it didn't look right at the tree. It's not even right there when he threw it out.
Yeah.
Mom didn't even try and eat it. It just stayed there until it rots.
Yeah.
Grew into a tree.
All right. You have another question?
Yes, Monica is saying that's right. The government should have funds for hurricane recovery. And that's right. And Viva is saying the Palmetto land in St. John's still available. Yes, we still have lots available.
At what price though?
7.5, 3,000 square feet, and 9.8, 6,000 square feet.
All right. And the website?
PalmettoPinesJA.com. I can actually send a link here.
All right.
No, Sharika is saying, looking at it. Oh, hold on, I need to scroll. Sharika says, I joined late. what are your thoughts on the reduced interest rates stated by BOJ? What are your expectations?
Well, when the interest rates go up, the banks follow suit and raise interest rates, which is what they did when BOJ raised the interest rates. I expect that now that BOJ is reversing those rates down, BOJ actually increased the interest rates to control inflation. Well, so them say. So it kind of cooled the market, especially real estate, it cooled it down. But now that they have reversed going down, and I expected them to reverse because I noticed the Feds overseas talked about reversing as well. So them kind of follow, them just follow fashion as far as I'm concerned. They actually, I expect the banks to follow suit and drop the interest rates. But I can tell you, these banks, them quick for raise up interest rates. But you see, for it to come down now, we need a minister, whoever the minister is now, in charge of that. Now we need to put Minister Vaz over there now. Run them down because get it down. Bring down back the interest rates. Because when interest rates are low, you can afford more property, right? But also the demand rises because more persons can afford more, the demand rises. So you find that you're buying a lot of stuff. They raise the interest rate, lick out some people out of the market. And that is even why we have so many apartments here standing up on us as well. So the banks, I expect you to now reduce the interest rate. So we're looking out for that, everybody. The banks should follow suit now and drop the interest rates. That's what we're looking for. But them are slow.
Yeah, but maybe Mr. Nigel Clark can get on them case. He's a minister.
Yes, he's a minister. I hear him vex on JPS. I tell lie upon him, you know. Yes, Minister Clark. Minister Clark is a stalwart too, you know. Yeah, man. Minister Clark, a little bit more on the polished side than the Minister Vaz. But when he speaks, you know, he reminds me of Hugh Shearer back in the day. When he speaks with a level of authority, dignified too, you know. So even though I'm a race you up, I'm do it in a dignified way. I don't know if that's gonna work with them back here, Minister Clark. I don't know if that's gonna work. I think a posture like Minister Vaz. That is what I mean. Somebody for get under them skin. Right, Tony? Get under them skin. Don't care. Get under them skin.
or BOJ threatened to close them banking license.
Yes, yeah, pull it, man, pull it. Yeah, we need. But I think Minister Clark have a good balance. I mean, I'm sure he can come out swinging when he wants to. When he needs to, he'll come out swinging.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let us see what they do. But I expect that the banks will drop the rates as well.
Yeah, Jovan is saying it's about time they stop the JPS monopoly. Bringing another power company. Competition breeds better consumer prices.
But you know, the government of Jamaica owns a part of JPS. I think they own 20%. And they're actually thinking of selling their shares. And I'm saying, Jamaica government, do not sell your shares. Don't. Because if you sell your shares, you're not going to have no talk. Because shareholders are not holding on the talk. And I like our companies where shareholders have talk. These public companies, shareholders have no say.
Mommy, with 20% in a company, you definitely do have no talk. You ever own 20% in anything yet and have talk?
No, no, never own all that.
You're married. You have no talk?
So they really need to go. Jamaica government don't sell the shares in JPS. Jamaica government does own a part of JPS, but I've seen our government make some serious blunders. Like one of them was selling shares, selling out part of JPS. Why? You're a monopoly. How can you not make money on your monopoly?
Mommy.
I am saying for the National Water Commission as well, do not sell the National Water Commission. We have sold out our cement company. How can you be a monopoly in a cement with all of the raw material on this island?
Fundamental problem with Jamaica, Jamaican society, and Jamaican people, and anything that Jamaicans do. We like quick money and little work.
Yeah.
Those things, monopoly in JPS, Sand Cement Company, and NWC requires too much work.
Mm-hmm.
People are built for speed, quick results. Why think we do so well in track and field? Well, not this Olympics, but previous Olympics, right? We're not built for endurance stuff.
Not
Too much
built.
work. Yeah.
Right, so
Hard work.
yeah, 15,000, 1,500.
No. And our mindset is not like that too.
Tony making an analogy. Want make a quick buck and we build for speed. Want do it fast in and out. Yes. Those companies require longevity and long planning. You know. But I don't know. Maybe that's why a lot of people migrate to them want quick money. Them just don't see it happening here.
Yeah.
So
because when you look at your life, look how long it took you. What if you were of the mindset of quick money?
Yeah. Not going to work.
Not going to work.
Not going to work. So, our problem. So, how we change that? We have a fundamental problem with our people.
With our people.
Because the thing is, even with capital, without people, you can't do nothing. You know, you could have all the money in the world, but without the people power with it, the people mind, the brains of the people, the manpower of the people, the hands and heart and brains together, all the money in the world will help us. Which is why, if we find that gold in the Caribbean seas, with our waters, and we find that gold, we will have a problem. Because this quick money business, which is the same thing happened to us with the bauxite, when we discovered we had bauxite, because we want quick money, we actually collect the money before the people them take out the bauxite. We are pre-sell the bauxite and I take the money and I spend it. I'm thinking, what's the long-term thing here? And I bet I'm still own this thing. Which is why we sell so much real estate. Because as the person who buy the real estate drop out, everybody wants to sell. Them don't even know it take the people 30 years to pay for the house. In some cases, 40 years to pay for the house. And in a 1 month, you call Miss Davis and say, Miss Davis, sell this. And you get the money in 3 months, and by the time you get it done. Make sense? Don't make any sense. Which is why one of my mantras, or whatever you want to call it, that I leave with my children, if you have a bought it, don't sell it. You cannot. If you never buy it, do not sell it. You have no authority to sell it. Anything where you buy, you can go and go sell it all you want. But anything that you don't buy, do not sell it.
The only option is
yeah, I don't care it pop down. You find a way to improve on that and keep it for the next people that will come behind you. You never buy it. So you come and make decision about to sell it. That not gonna work. Not in my family anyway. Not the family that me grow, create and grow and train. It's not gonna happen. So any picnic them where I gonna bring Tony on and Rachel to make sure on the train them no buy it, you can't sell it. Your name could have depend it from now till tomorrow morning. You find a way to make it work. I look at the Queen Elizabeth went on that throne. I think she was 26, somewhere there. Somebody Google it and tell her the real time. She inherited that throne from that age. And that lady sat on her golden eggs. And with all of the thing, everything I go around her, she knew the sacrifice that her people made to be able for them to accomplish so much and to be able to sit on a throne. Lots of Jamaicans sit on thrones, but what? You don't know you're sitting on a throne. That's the first thing. You don't know that you're sitting on the wealth, and you're willing to make somebody kick you off fight in a second. You don't stand your ground. You must stand your ground, because without the real estate is life. You're talking about our ackee tree and tomato plant and all of that. Without the land, you cannot live. That's the truth. You can't live without land. All humans can't live without land. There is no animal in the kingdom, including us, that can live without land. You can't. Which is why the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, teaches us. Those of you who are in the book club, we went through that book. Those of you not in the book club, buy the book and read it. Richest Man in Babylon teaches us that we are, that husbands, you are to buy a piece of land, go to the money lender and get the loan and pay the money lender little. In our dispensation, the money lender is a bank. So go to the bank, take the loan, pay little. Make your wife heart glad so that she can plant some herb. She will feel happy. Tony can find a passage, doubt it. You have to know the quote. You have to know the quote. Anybody know the book? Tell me the quote. What is it? That's what it's talking about. Anybody was in my book club? Tell me the quote. Right? So what you need is long-term money, guys. We talk about Airbnb, but the truth is Airbnb is short-term money. What you need is money coming in every month. This is what the Jamaica government is missing. When you sell out the Carib Cement and you sell out the NWC, well, NWC not sell yet. I pray to God they don't. But when you sell out Carib Cement and you sell out how much shares in your JPS, right? When you don't train your people to be able, so similar, if you don't train your family, you don't train the children that you bring to be able to know that, listen, this need maintaining, this need protecting, this needs to be built on. And those are the three things, remember. You need to build, you need to maintain, and you need to protect. Remember that. So in your own family structure, you need to build on the physical and you need to build on the mental. So which is why I put Zana Zevinas at the class, right? Because my own children never escape that neither. Them got sat the class till them week. I'll sat there Sunday them there school. Tony,
Yeah.
never miss. You understand?
No, we're not going to school.
Yeah, because them a good student, man. Because you are training. You have to train. You have to develop, right? You have to build on. So when you go to school and you do all of these things, you're building on the human element, because you need a human element with the cash. Two of them have to come together. You know? So if I don't train myself, I don't train Tony and Rachel, I don't train Zana, if not care how much cash we have over here, so that never mean nothing. It have got done. Both have to come together, right? Now, what also need to come together is the street smarts with the formal education, which I have both. Come and get that because they throw me out. So I'm up on the streets. I have street smarts, I have formal education. My children have more formal education than me, so I have to train them to for the street smarts, right? Like a typical thing happened this week with Tony and she needed to install a fan. I'm all the way on the North Coast. Mom, you need to get here because you need to go buy the fan. I don't know how to buy a fan. I'm like, what?
Mom, but you promised me you would have been there.
Yeah, but we couldn't make it. So you have to think, how can I get this done? What is the best way to get this done? Right? And one of the things that I had to remind her was look to your immediate surroundings first. People tend to look outside of themselves first. When you want to do something, look to yourself first. Because the truth is, the genius of the inner you too, And if you never born with a genius, you have to train yourself to be the genius. Right? So you look to yourself first. What resources do I have at my fingertip right now that can get this done? Right? So you know the store, you know, of online banking. You could have literally know buy the thing online, send somebody go pick it up. Me not have to do that. You understand? These are the type of things that you have to, and it don't just come naturally to some people. They have to be trained, right? They have to be trained, which is why even for your own children, like you know, you have to make them immerse in the things so that they know. Which is what the Indians and the Chinese have worse because their kids are immersed in the business long time from them idea them need, so them learn it. So for me, I know reading is important. The child must read. Once a child can read, the child can teach himself anything. The child can't read and can't teach himself anything. He's forever left behind. So those of you with young children now, grandchildren, all of that, that is your focus. Reading, not even the numbers so much, but the reading now. The mafia can't read, right? Now, back in the day, you never have computer, next one name, tablet, phone, all these things. So you never had a distraction. Now you, the parent, have the distraction with the phone. I see my daughter sitting on the couch. She in her phones and as if now run back and forth. She don't even see them. Right? And I sit and I watch and I say, damn, this is a problem now. So even though I'm saying no screen time for these kids, only on a Saturday in the evenings. That's it. No Sunday screen time, no Monday to Friday. Anytime me see them, they must have a book. And the thing is, the little one get it so much now. So as me touch down in the house, him say, Grandma, read a book. And he goes for his book. I say, yes, Evan, go for the book and come. Man, the older ones under me a fair coat, but the little one him get it. You see, everything is about the habits that we form. The habits that you form now when you're young or 20 age. By the time you get to my age, you can't form a new habit. I'll tell you the truth. Everything I'm doing now is habits that I formed way back when. Nothing not gonna change. It's not gonna change. I like Milo. I like eggplant and bread. Don't talk to me about ham and cheese sandwich because I never like that from liquor. So I like oxtail, I like stew peas, I like that. I mean, so form good habits, and the same thing with your children. Form good habits from now, which is why I'm insisting on the no screen time because I know what the distraction is. If we allow our children to hang out with phones and laptops and all these gadgets, you will not be training your child properly. Remember the habits that you form now, right? Even at the dinner table, I'm out to dinner. So like later today, I'm going to lunch. One of my friends, it's her birthday. Then I'm going to a play. And I can tell you, when I go to this dinner, everybody go have them phone in front of them. And them not even gonna miss a beat. They're gonna have them phone in front of them and I try to have a conversation at the same time. I will probably be the only one there with my phone in my handbag or leave it in the car.
And the birthday girl. You guys are the same age group.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, come on, guys. So we have to seriously know what our distractions are and understand that you're gonna miss. In the conversation, you're gonna miss. Somebody might be saying, well, you know, it's a nice piece of land down there with a river. Because you know your phone, that
Not only that, Mom, but what I realize is when you're in your phone and trying to communicate with someone, because your eyes is on your phone, basically, and you're only using half your brain to process what the person is saying, you miss the emotion and nuances that are in the conversation. You're not able to read the person. And so I realized with this new generation of people that are coming up, they just don't know how to communicate. They can't read verbal cues and they just can't communicate. And so their fuse is shorter, they're quick to anger, they're quick to say you're dissing them and you're offending them because they can't process the information being given to them.
They can't process.
And they can only process emojis, basically.
Yeah. Which is why I'm saying even When we're driving in the cars and Nazima behind me, no phone. I don't want a tablet. I don't want a phone, nothing. If you're going to go in the car with something, go in there with a book. Go in there with a book. Like yesterday, they had books. Xander had this. He loves anything to do with vehicle. So he has this book with excavator, tractor, you name it, double decker bus, you name it. And he knows all of them. So it's a book about 30 pages of just that. And he loves that, him and his brother. And then Xavier had a little book too with the same thing going on. And apart from that, you don't have no book, look through the window, observe, green light, red light. That's the way you do. Talk about the things around you. Everybody, them kid driving with these things in laptop and this in the back seat. Oh, come on, what is that? And them can't carry a conversation. Don't do that, guys. What we learned earlier, the first 20 years of our life, will form the habits for the next thing, which is why even in some of the classes that I teach about investment, people's brain can't move. And I know it's not going to move because they've already formed bad habits, right? They got Herculean effort.
Only like the simple concept where you say, purchase yourself the textbook.
Yeah.
Like you just can't wrap them head around purchasing a textbook.
Yeah, I'm like, why? I'm like, buy a textbook. I'm sending a child to school. I mean,
it's like under $20. And I'm like, why can't you just purchase the book? Like, what is fundamentally going on in your brain where when Miss Davis said, purchase your textbook so you can read the information, that you're just not computing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What you don't understand is that reading is 3 ways, right? Right? It's 3 ways, this reading, this knowing, knowledge. You see it, so you see the words, you see the action, right? You actually have to see it, right? You also have to hear it. So you hear me talking. I'm on the board, teacher's at the board. She talking. She said, do this. Xander, this is A, this is B. So he's seen her at the board. He's seen her point to the A, and he is now hearing it as well. Then you will notice the next thing the teacher is going to do is do some action. He's going to now take out some blocks that may be in a 3D or 2D and then mix it up and then use them hand, and that's how we learn as humans. So when you have the book, you're not seeing, you're only hearing, Miss Davis, right? You give yourself a disservice because you're not going to get the information. That much I can tell you. And I know the ones in my class who have their books. They will do well. The rest, them just a hitch a ride. They won't do well. Tony, out of every 100 that we teach, is only one going to do it. That's a ratio. But it's not bad. At least you pass on the information to one. Tony, I have another question. Look like we're running out of time. Where are the questions? Let me see if I can bounce them out fast. or give me the comments. Just start. Give me them.
Bever's asking if we got any other land in St. Catherine for sale. And Vince is saying the market is crashing. Anthony says good morning.
Which part of the market crashing? Well, we don't have any more land selling now in St. Catherine, just Palmetto Pines. Mm-hmm. Which side of the market is crashing? Jamaican real estate market don't crash like that so swift and fast. Because the truth is, Jamaicans who own more than one piece of real estate not going to give it away. That's the first thing. They will wait out the market because they can't, right? Those who only have one piece of real estate not selling because they more have nowhere to live. The only people who will sell are those who inherit it by death or they're separating. Marriage is gone, or why them a divorce, them have to sell. Mm-hmm. So those are situations that we have where they have to sell. We don't sell and move every 5 to 7 years like overseas markets. We don't. Jamaicans tend to buy one house, live in it for 50 years, and that's it, right? They only sell. So we have only sold properties for death, divorce, migration, right, Tony?
Yeah.
What other reason we sell?
Well,
we sell new properties.
For reinvestment.
For reinvestment. Somebody was selling and they're going to reinvest, but barely.
Yeah.
Or we sell new, somebody just come into the market and they're buying from us. So we're selling new properties to them,
Mm-hmm.
right? The thing is, Jamaicans, why we don't crash like that too? Because in Jamaica, the banks can't sell our property for what we owe them, right? So if I owe 10 million on a property and the property value 30 million and the for sale is at 25 million, the bank cannot sell below 25 million unless I agree. I have to agree for them to sell it for that. The bank can sell for 10 if they're foreclosed on the property. So if the bank has foreclosed on the property and the property is now in the bank's name, the bank can't sell for any money they want because I'm out of the picture. But if I'm still in the picture as the original owner who took the loan, the bank cannot sell this. And for them to get a property on foreclosure, it have to chronic. Because I tell you, say the bank will have to go to the court to get the court permission to foreclose on this property. That's how it is in this country, right? So we don't have fire sales like that. When you see a property on auction, the lowest you can get it for is a for sale value. So if it value 30, you might get at the auction for the for sale, which may be at 25, at 10 or 15% below market value. So market value is 30, calculate 10 or 15%, and the whatever is, take 10 or 15% of 30,000. So let's say 10% is 3 million, so for sale value 27. 15% is what, 4.5. My math's good. So it would be 25.5. My math's good. Million. You're not going to get it below that. So, and chances are a person borrowed 10 million. So if they sell for 25 million, bank take out them fees, may get maybe another 10 million in them hand. Because they have the right to reclaim that equity, right? Mm-hmm. So no fire sale here. Those of you who are looking at auctions, just know that you're only getting it at 10 to 50% below value. You really want some good deals, go to the foreclosures where the banks have more flexibility and them just want to get rid of the property. So they might just set your go on with it, right? But usually you need to have cash if you have a strong negotiating position. Or if it's a really horrible property, the bank just want to get rid of it. But they probably won't give you a loan. So let us say it's JA. And JA have this property all along on them books and want to get rid of it. Nobody not buying it. They're not going to give you a loan because they know, say, hell, this is I made a bad loan with this. No, I couldn't even get the place sold. It will have to be another bank who willing to give you that loan. Or you have the cash and you just want to get it, right? So we don't have fire sales like that. We're not going to crash like that. The only time I saw this market crash was when we had the challenge with everybody thinking we're going to go communism. That was in the Michael Mann government. And everybody was running away and selling them property for little and no, that's not gonna happen. Jamaicans are still running away, but they're not selling their properties. Them steady. And they don't sell as they go away. So they will migrate, They're going to Canada, America, whatever, but they're selling long after. They have these properties here locked up or people live in them or whatever, and then it's long after you see them put it up for sale. So we don't have that kind of a challenge. All right, you have another question?
Yeah. Horstead Kofat said, that's why I dropped out of the original Ecosted because all kind of family land dropped on my head. Horstead and Kofat, I hope you sort that out now.
Yeah.
Sharika says, looking at it, JPS might be a good stock to buy.
Real estate is a good stock to buy.
Lorna says,
cash to make money with stocks. You need too much cash. Stocks is not leverageable. Go ahead, Tony.
Lorna says Jamaica is the capital of the Caribbean.
Yes, for sure.
Fire Youth is saying, can you explain homestead?
Tony, you tell that because I might be too long with it. Go with it in a nutshell.
So, a homestead is a property that is self-sustaining in terms of providing you with income, food supply, utilities, and other resources, right? So there's basically two kind of homestead. There's a single family homestead, which usually is a one house with maybe 5 acres of land, and you plant whatever food you're going to eat on the homestead, whether it be crops and animal rearing, right? And usually one family that lives there, powered by solar, has rainwater harvesting systems, right? And they usually sell the excess food to provide income for the homestead. An expanded version of the homestead is a multi-family homestead, which is what we're interested in, which is where you would own a larger piece of property, maybe 10 acres to 100 acres, right? And you have multiple homes on the homestead or accommodations on the homestead. And you still do the farming and animal rearing to a larger extent. And you provide the same rainwater harvesting, solar energy, etc. to the homestead. So what we're thinking of doing is coming together as a group and creating a larger type of homestead with multiple families.
All right. Thank you, Tony. And what's the next question?
Next question is Giovanni saying, I actually have some of their shares. They're doing pretty good. That's the JPS shares.
JPS shares. Okay, good.
Right. Paul is saying, good morning. And where is Homestead? So right now the homestead is in theory. We're looking to come together as a group to purchase a plot of land to develop a homestead on.
But we have an existing one called EcoStead that was formed, was it 3 years ago, Tony?
Yeah, I think so. Was
3 years ago.
3 years.
Right. So that one is in Norwich, Portland. So we actually did purchase a piece of land, 22 acres, and we have our subdivision approvals. And so we are looking to build now, to do the construction. That's where we're at with that one. So this is a totally new one. But that one doesn't have any river, sea, or water source, all of that. We rely on NWC. But for this one, the push is river, right, Tony? That's what I'm hearing. So if you sign up the form, you will be added to the group, which we're going to be forming on Telegram. So you can be a part of that discussion and you can see how we go forward. For the previous one, EcoStead, we started out with 70 persons, but only ended up with 20 serious persons who came on board and are now shareholders. So I know if I even start out with 100 or 150, zero, only maybe 20, 30. We'll finish the race. That's how it is.
Monica says, I planted tomato, cantaloupe, cucumber, and bell peppers in my backyard. They're ready for producing.
Wow.
That's nice.
Nice. And some people have green thumb, you know. Some people don't green that some, you know.
Sharika is saying they pay dividends, right? That's JPS. What the stock price is now, we may need to look into it. If we all have to pay JPS, we might as well own the stock to balance things off. But because yes, that was their biggest mistake, see profit and not thinking of consequences. Yep. Paul is saying, in my experience, government-owned company do not do well. What is needed is good governance and oversight from government for private companies.
I don't know if I agree with that. Certain things government should own. Certain things that are important for living, like electricity and water, government should own. Certain things like our natural resources, so like our bauxite, our cement, cement is taken, all the everything that builds cement is taken from here. And the oil, if we find it, government should control those. I don't see why we should let go of our natural resources. And if we find any other natural resources, like maybe some other minerals, like copper, silver, gold, I don't know. But I think things that are necessary for life. So that's two things. Two things I'm saying, things that are necessary for life. So like water, government must control that. We don't want foreign entities to control our water systems. Or electricity. At any minute, for spite you, them kind of shut down the grid. What do you think is going to happen? I think JPS did that to Jonestown back in the day. Go and look up the article. They did that. They shut down the entire grid in Jonestown, saying only two persons or one person was paying electricity. And government had to step in and say, no, I can't do that. So I don't know. I don't think, and certainly monopoly company. So if we had 10, 20 JPSs here, and we could jump from any JPS to this one, so you don't like how the rate for this one, you can't jump to that one, then fine. But you have a monopoly. I think if you go have a monopoly, we should control it. Government should control it. The monopoly is for the people, right? What I think is our downfall, though, as a government, is that we're not training. So even in NWC system, you need to send people go learn how to build reservoir and how to maintain sewage plant and how to build pipelines and all these things. You need to train your people. So offer the scholarships, get them there, get them back here. Training is important. The technicians and these things. What is happening to us is that we can't maintain a NWC, we can't maintain a JPS or a cement factory because we don't have the people trained. In other countries, they train their people. I think training is our biggest downfall. Oversight and regulation, well, you see how that working out now with JPS. How much talk so a regulator can have over a private company? Really? I don't know if that's enough. Because them can't tell JPS to take back them estimated bill there. JPS say no, them not take it back. So what you do? If you control the JPS, it is yours, it is ours, then we can do what we want. Just like how we control an Ecosted, or we will control the next one, the homestead. We can determine what it is that we want. That's what you want. You want control. You don't necessarily want ownership, but you want control. But the problem is, the two most times have to go together. You have to own the cement factory and control, right?
Mm-hmm.
The two, if you could have separate them, so if you could have owned JPS and give control to our next company, maybe that might work. Like how the Butch Stewart family own Sandals, but they give control to the managers and the directors and the board of directors and so on. But you have to own it, man. I know. That's where I disagree with you. Government should give oversight and regulatory authority, not on things that are important for the greater good of living. Because you say, how much people in Jonestown now pay light? And you cut them off. People need light to live. We all know that Jonestown is an inner city community with workers who earning minimum wage. We say want to pay them minimum wage. What happened? You don't want them burn a AC? You don't want them a flat screen TV? So what? You want them come out to you to come ask you for watch your TV? Have to sit down in your living room with your AC?
Not only that, too. We're in a society now where they can't even get people to do minimum wage work.
Yeah.
Didn't you see all the ads that came out last week? You sent them to me.
Yeah, I saw them. We can't even get people for work for that. So, guys, I don't know. Government, yes. You want regulation, but I don't think that's enough. That's not enough. As we're seeing here now, with Minister Vaz literally a beaten stick over them head. If we owned the JPS, we could have just made those decisions ourselves. We don't need to talk to anybody. We just do it. Right? Like us in Ecosted, we don't need to talk to anybody. We just do it. So one this, one that, all of that within our scope. And we have the capital and we have the human element to go with it. We can just do it. Right, guys? That's what you want. You want ownership and you want control. So therefore, if you own a property, you own a house, you also want to maintain control, some kind of control. You may give up control to the tenant, but you own it. You still want to have, you have some level of control because the tenant paying you rent. That is your control. The minute the tenant stop paying you rent, you lose control of your property, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Sharika is saying no man's family can fully enjoy life unless they do have a plot of ground wherein children can play in the clean earth and where the wife may raise not only blossoms but good rich herbs.
that is from the richest man in Babylon. Read it again, Tony, for all of these men sitting here.
No
and women who are head of their households. Mm-hmm. That boy alone too. Like me, head of the household. I'm a woman. Mm-hmm.
No man's family can fully enjoy life unless they have a plot of ground wherein children can play in the clean earth and where the wife may raise not only blossoms but good rich herbs.
What the first sentence said? No man what?
No man's family can fully enjoy life.
I hope you get that, guys. So that is from the richest man in Babylon. When we have book club, that's the very first book that we read. I've done so many free book clubs, but I said to Tony the other way, no more free book club because these people not even buying the book. I am going to now charge.
But I don't think your book club students realize that the importance of the book. Like I don't think they realize with the book you can go after book club finish and go and look back at it.
I bet you who give you that? Sharika?
Yeah.
Bet you Sharika of our book.
But Sharika is reading, that is her that's her whole life, reading.
All right. All right. We're almost on time.
And that says, I agree, reading is a problem. This generation has no idea about figures of speech. They see everything literal. Metaphor, hyperbole, etc. They don't know.
And they don't know sarcasm. They don't know where sarcasm. Or rhetorical. I said, yeah, that's a rhetorical question. You don't need to answer it. You know, I mean, but I don't know. I know, right? That's a good one. All right, what's it?
What we're going to do with these young people?
I don't know, boy. I don't
know. Jovan says, that's why I'm stalking the auction houses for good deals. I'm actually on Jane's website right now because I was curious, Mom. And actually, some pretty good stuff is on it in terms of houses. Like I'm even seeing a Camelot here.
Auction?
Yeah.
Cool. Private on the website, Jovan.
Yeah. And there's a pyramid here at a really good price because pyramids are selling for like 70,000.
Yeah.
This one is like only 43 million.
Go on the website, Jovan. Yeah. That's where you find them. Mm-hmm. All right. What else? We need to get through, Tony. Time is upon us.
Okay, so really, you're rushing me when you're the one who just did a whole speech. So Fire says, can you speak about the best ways of passing down a property and wealth? In the US, wealthy individuals create trust to avoid the tax implications. People quick to sell because they don't have the fund.
All right, so you can do the trust thing same way in Jamaica, but let me tell you the quickest way. The quickest way is just to add the person to the title. That's it. As joint tenants. So you're going to give your kids these things, just add them to the title as joint tenants.
And you can add a clause to mommy, don't it? You can add a clause to it, like it does say 100 years, whatever, don't it?
Yeah, like it does say, not for sale. You can't put that on your title.
Yeah.
I'll definitely stop. This property is not for sale. Write that on the title when you transfer it.
You can write on the title to their uses of it, I think. Like what you can use it for.
Right. You can also write on it that them no loan. Them can't take no loan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have some wayward people, you know. They take loan, because they must say, Grandma said, I'm not for send this, you know. I'm gonna beat this, I'm gonna take a loan and then just gone and not pay it. And then we do it. Right? Yeah. So you can do that too.
Nadine says, I haven't received any info about the homestead. Is the list? Mommy, you need to start the Telegram for that. So people can
sign up the list?
I'm not sure.
Send back put back your chat, Tony, so those who joined us late.
Okay. And also Dancehall is saying, I got a water bill for $1 million with no visible leaks. Almost 3 months ago, still under investigation presently, with only 6 tenants in Portmore. This monopoly thing is killing us.
1 million with no leak.
Probably underground.
There's a leak, man.
Yeah.
There's a leak. There's a video. Go on the NWC website. There's a video there that tells you how to read your meter to check if there's a leak. New meters, you can check if there's a leak.
Well, yeah, but like even with the new meter now, you can just sit down and watch it. You see if it like you sit down at the meter for like 30 seconds and the pin moves all 10 times in that 30 seconds and no pipe
moves. Everything turn off in your house. All the lock-offs are off. That's how we check ours. You turn off all the lock-offs. And you turn them on 1-1. So we have different zones of lock-offs. You turn off all of them first. You go and you sit. You use your little pen or whatever, and you touch the button for the meter. Go on the JPS website. They have a video there that shows you how to check it, right? So you press till you get to that screen, and then you watch it. No movement, meaning the number not moving. Then you turn on one of the lock off, and you go back and watch it. Or you sit there and watch it while somebody turn it on. Once you turn it on, the line will energize back, and you're going to see it move maybe 1 or 2. And it's steady back. If it keeps moving, you have a leak in that zone. You have to find it. Now, usually the first point of the leak, and we know this because we're plumbers by training, Hart trained us, is the toilet that you're not paying attention to.
So you're afraid to look in it.
That toilet will be dripping and you don't know. Usually, Tony, usually that's the first thing. Leaking.
And usually what it does, it is running in the bowl.
Yeah, running in the bowl.
Right, and usually that's because is it called calcium, Mommy? The hard water has built up on the flopper ball.
And it's just
chlorine, and it just, or hard water, and it's just creating like a little drip. But every time it does that, it lifts the flopper ball, and so the tank keeps filling.
Yeah, so it creates a glaze underneath the flopper ball. So the flopper ball is supposed to lock firmly back. But this little glaze keep it slightly elevated and the water seeping under that. So what you have to do every 3 months, you have to get into those toilets and clean. What do you use clean it off, Tony? Either change the flopper ball or you clean it.
Yeah, sometimes depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll just buy a gallon of vinegar and take out the flopper balls and put them in there for like an hour and then put them back in.
Right.
Just depending on what I'm doing.
Right. So
and then sometimes I just change them out.
Yeah. So that's one, right? You also have to make sure so you have filters on your line. Put sediment filter on the line because depending on where you are and the type of mixer you have. Little stone and little whatever will get into those mixers.
Right. And two, if you have mixers with rubber washers, you're gonna have more leaking problem than if you had bought the expensive ones with cartridges.
Yeah, like we have some expensive ones like mowing and those, no problem. The other one, them, forget it, problem. So we stop buying it. But just buy the deer mix. I'm not telling a lie. Give myself a lifetime. I know it.
And give you more problem than it's worth.
Yeah, more problem than it worth, guys. So just do that, right? The other thing is, Tony, I think Bones is calling me. Yeah, you finished with the calls?
It's right on time. Let me see. Farah says that work be sad if the government sells NWC. Oh, that would be sad if government sells NWC. Yes, it would. In the past, Jamaica has sold water to countries like Bermuda that doesn't have natural water sources like us. Yes, it would be sad.
Right.
Dancehall is saying 3 meters on my property had only one come to 1 million. The others are like 11 to 15K. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. I see a question. Nadine, joint tenants on title, would they have to continue to pay the mortgage? Them would have continued to pay the mortgage if you pass and there was no insurance to cover the mortgage. So if you pass, Nadine, and you have insurance, the insurance will cover the mortgage, and then them wouldn't have to pay the mortgage. But if there was no insurance on the property and you pass, yes, they would have to continue paying the mortgage.
JRW is saying, I so missed the book club. It was the highlights of my Sunday evenings. Thanks, Miss Davis. Your labor was not in vain.
Thanks, Jasmine. Thanks. All right, Tony. So we have to wrap up now. I have a workman to meet. But thank you, everybody. There's a homestead link again. Grab it so you can be a part of the group. And we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.